students, and welcome to week 5 in your online general psychology course. This week we are moving on, finally, since we spent 2 weeks in chapter 2, and this week we are moving on to chapter 3, which is the biological foundations of behavior. In this chapter, you're going to learn everything from the parts of the neuron to the entire nervous system to parts of the brain and the endocrine system. So it's really building that biological psychology piece of how we look at human behavior through those systems. So let's take a look at this week's module. So in addition to the PowerPoint and your objectives, I have given you a micro lecture on the neuron. So this is where I have recorded a deep dive into explaining the neuron, which hopefully will just help you understand some of the things you'll be looking at this week in your assignments. So I'm going to come back to the psychological perspectives in just a minute. Let's look at your 2 Connect assignments for this week. One is over navigating the brain. Helping you to kind of understand how we break the brain down into different parts and some functionality of the brain. And then another Connect assignment over the neuron and its role in Alzheimer's disease, and then your chapter 3 quiz. So 2 Connect assignments plus the chapter 3 quiz. In addition, you also have this psychological perspectives and depression assignment. This will be your measurements for student learning outcome number 3. Let's take a look at that. So in this assignment, don't let this big title scare you off. What I'm really just asking you to do is write 2 fairly brief paragraphs. So it's not really a long research paper or anything along those lines. But what you're going to do is choose one perspective. So as you look at biological, evolutionary, psychodynamic, behavioral, cognitive, humanistic, and sociocultural, which really kind of going back and looking at chapters 1 and 2 will help you with this assignment. What I want you to do is just choose one of them and give me an overview. What are the basic beliefs? What are the assumptions of that perspective? And really kind of how they approach their theory. And then in that first paragraph, after you've given me, that first part there, the basic beliefs of just one of these, I want you to choose one famous psychologist that is associated with that paradigm that you chose, okay? So just name one psychologist associated with that perspective and tell me, what was their contribution to the field, okay? What did they really kind of bring to that perspective, okay? So that's paragraph number 1. Overview of that, of whichever one you chose, a famous psychologist associated with that perspective and more or less what their major contribution was. And then paragraph number 2 is how would that perspective treat depression? So obviously, each of these perspectives are their own distinct perspective because they look at human behavior a little bit differently from one another. So take that understanding of what their major lenses or perspective and how would they treat depression, okay? So 2 paragraphs. Don't forget, and I would assume that you're going to use at least one reference as you research for this assignment. Make sure that you provide that reference in correct APA format. So you can use the OWL Purdue website, OWL, it's an acronym for Online Writing Lab. At Purdue University, just Google OWL Purdue and it'll come up. And they have a great tutorial on APA. You can, use your resources to make sure that you're correctly referencing. Not anything else about it has to be done in APA format, just the source that you're using. And then you have the grading rubric down below. If there is anything you have questions about, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.